Greeks became Roman citizens, and historians could not isolate reality in Judea from divine of Israel, when not only their culture managed their imagination, but both realities of Greek divine mythology and the coming of Yeshua from the Canaanites sparked a pantheon of one only living God. Greek and Roman writers had a handful of real-time experiences and witnesses passing through reports and testimonies about Yeshua Greeks could not ignore. Jesus was a vivid evidence of divine intervention power to cure and resurrect the dead, with a background of prophecies and texts predicting Yeshua's coming as the Savior of God, of the ancient peoples before the empire. Hellenistic ways dominated Rome from the Greeks, who influenced the creation of the church to save the empire. Rome could not use Yeshua. It was impossible. They crucified him in alliance with the leaders of Jerusalem temple, the offspring of Hagar, the self-called sons of Abram, the false Jews, the Pharisees, who crucified, who turned Yeshua, the king of Judea, in the hands of the Romans. They could not use Yeshua. It was impossible. Rome could not use Yeshua as their icon to keep the empire in a church using religion. They crucified him in alliance with the leaders of Jerusalem temple. The Romans were willing to destroy as well. Divine was a barrier, but not an impossibility to politically manage to overcome Judah to be of Rome. A very political, strategical way was used by Rome. They created a province. A nomadic young man was chosen to be the king of the Canaanites, Jews of Judea kingdom. The Romans did not change the kingdom, nor Yeshua. The kingdom became Palestina, and the Jews' king was a non-Jew. Palestina and the new kingdom of the Jews were not related to God's people, Israel, which was enforced by the descendants of Hagar in Jerusalem, same ones who decided to eliminate one man to save the falsehood as Jews and Hebrews from Abram, opposing God to elevate a man, Abram, to be like God. They called him Hebrew, to validate their lies, to be Hebrews, to be seen as Jews. They are not. They were not. There is a semi-divine character in Greek mythology named Asclepius. From all political adversaries against Israel, to overcome their divine, to possess Judah and all land of the Jews, Greek Romans started a literary odyssey to create their version of a God out of an erased Jew. They adopted a name as in Greek Jesus, the way they could pronounce Yeshua, and I have my doubts. The Romans adopted for the church this Jesus name that became a Latin version, Jesus. That is nothing else than nothing, an icon from the new empire, the church. Greek Romans, Greek that became Roman citizens, writers, historians, even scholars of their mythology and all those Greek divine, started to write about Yeshua, but not as Yeshua, but Jesus. These people collected all material, every single text about Yeshua and his Talmudim to create their own version as the people that really wrote about Yeshua with his Talmudim. They twisted and they signed as those people. Historians and the scholars can see a tricky word and way of writing that shows was not the real author. What those Greek Romans did was to start a literary odyssey to create their version of a God out of an erased Jew, adopting the name Jesus in their own language. Those writers, Greek, Roman citizens, historians, they keep in mind they were now Roman citizens. They follow Rome ways and laws, and they did not follow the Jew way of Yeshua, but their own way of Greek and its mythology they know for their entire life. Keep in mind they wrote whatever they want using texts about the Talmudim, but in their own ways in Greek, and using words that much of the time doesn't match the real words in Hebrew and Aramaic. Those writers were historians, people who want to write about Yeshua, but not Yeshua anymore. Yeshua was erased by the Jews in Jerusalem and by the Romans. So they know how gods and Greek mythology and Roman own gods and the deities worked. The Talmudim could not understand the core of Yeshua words and teachings. And the Greeks and the authors took advantage of this to keep even more Yeshua apart from the Jew world. That obviously Rome took advantage to create own literature involving all those Hellenistic ways and the many gods that you see in churches as saints and statues, and this is Rome. This the Roman deities, the saints you see, people that died, and they make a saints. They turn these dead people in saints, and they make statues, and they give them different names, many names, for one single deity or saint. To see, this is an example for Mary. Mary has many names, different names, and all of them are different saints, and they are the same. The point is the Jew way of God, the Hebrew way of God, and everything of God, the knowledge, his attributes, everything of God, of Hebrew God, is missing in this Greek, Roman, Latin version. Jesus, that does not exist, is not real, has nothing to do with Yeshua. Yeshua is God, came for his own people, Israel. Yeshua is all of God on earth, and the Greeks and Roman has no clue about anything of God. They have no God. They have no God. They have Jesus, who doesn't exist. That is, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. It's nothing. It's an icon took from the Greeks version and writings about the Talmudim, not following the Jew way, but their own ways in their literature, the way they wrote. This is the church, has nothing to do with your God, with your Creator. All I am speaking to you is true. People engage in collective motivation to carry on everything that is about nothings, as if of God. They keep doing all against God, heresy, blasphemy, not realizing that all they do and don't is not against God, but against themselves, as they did, erasing truth to build lies, to build their own worlds. As much as I search for an explanation, cannot find any, and time consumed by them is dumbness, fighting over their own nothings. They built words of lie. They killed Israel priests to steal texts and scrolls, to take us of their own, as if they were Jews. They cannot be Israel. As if they were Jews and Hebrews from Abram, not from God. Israel is from God. And they kill, to steal from the priests their artifacts and their priesthood vests. Everything they had, the false Jews stole. All those you perceive as Jews of today, generations from 1,000 years ago, are followers of the descendants of Hagar, the same ones, Pharisees, who crucified Yeshua. They don't want to lose the fake world of Jews. They are not. And the Hebrews, they are not and cannot be. No one is like God, and Abram is a man, cannot be Hebrew. Those people are self-called sons of Abram, They took all of God. They stole from Israel. They killed, to steal. They took all with them when they were fleeing from the Romans and enemies, persecution and death, to far lands. In the course of time, to Africa, the land of their foremother, Hagar, and lands once known by the merchants and traders in Asia, as India, for example. Ethiopia, they flew to Ethiopia. Some formed tribes in Africa, indigenous tribes, in Europe. Those self-called Jews, centuries after Yeshua crucifixion in exile, developed a powerful union, creating a scholar movement that changed completely the core of the real meaning of God's creation of his Israel people, priests, into a religion. Not just a world, but a divine, magical doctrine to guide them as Jews they are not. These people are not true Jews. Please turn to God immediately. You don't know how to handle the unknown. You are not just flesh. Please turn to God immediately. All of them are in great, great danger. They have no idea what they are doing. They are so irresponsible. They are so naive. You have no idea the power those beings have. You have none. You have no power. You don't know them. You don't know the unknown. You don't know anything. You have religion and you invent so many crazy and absurd things, and you write about things for others to follow. You are crazy. This is madness. You are doing exactly what the devil wants you to do. All you do is fake, is false. Not even from the devil is true. He's using you. He's laughing at you. Turn to your God immediately.